Hi, good morning all, and a happy new financial year. The last couple of weeks ending FY13 were particularly not good in terms of the news flow that arrived about the domestic as well as the global economy. Uh, on Thursday, the current account deficit figure for the last quarter FY13 arrived at a very high 6.7% versus 4.4% for the same period in FY12. Clearly, that was a shocker for the markets. Uh, Even overseas, in the last couple of weeks, the tail risk about the breakup of the Eurozone resurfaced. But on Monday, Cyprus sought a bailout deal from the Troika, and that probably eased some of the strains and apprehension in the minds of global investors. Indian as well as US markets were closed on Friday for the Good Friday holiday. Uh, Mr. Chidambaram in the last meeting also emphasized on the fact that India need, along with the reforms, India also need to liberalize its capital account policies. A study shows that there is a large FII appetite for Indian debt as well as Indian corporate debt. If the limits are liberalized, we can see a good amount of FI inflow in the capital account, which will help the Indian rupee appreciate against the US dollar and some of its trading partners' currencies, which will be positive for the Indian market and as well as for some high beta names. The UPA government before election would like to emphasize on the fact that it is clearly committed to lower the capital account deficit and also the fiscal deficit. Hence, we expect the path of reforms and liberalization of policies to continue from the UPA just before the elections. Stock specific news: Coal India has announced a plan to invest about 300 billion rupees over the next 2 to 3 years, and it has expectations that it will spend a substantial amount of that by March 2014 itself. Infosys, on the other hand, has been uh, offering clients a lot of value-added services at free of cost, and also incorporating some of niche service providers in its organization to uphold and enhance the quality of service that is provided to gain market share. HCL Tech has been in the news for the last few days. HCL has promised freshers jobs in the company. However, it's been more than a year since their letter of joining reached the students, but HCL has not clearly given them a joining date yet. Uh, Signs from these two companies clearly show the loss of demand in the IT industry due to the global slowdown and how companies in the IT sector are managing to contain that slowdown. Sectoral news include that the Indian pharma sector would probably face some bad news. The regulators have proposed that they would initiate or they would raise a cap on the prices of drugs at launch itself. So you would have an established cap on the prices of the drugs at the launch, beyond which you cannot increase the price. Realty firms are also seeking a withdrawal of the 1% TDS, which was proposed by the Finance Minister P. Chidambaram in the Union Budget presented for FY14. Along with that, we expect Indian markets to be sideways for the today's session because due to a lack of global news and apprehensive global investors, NTPC has gone ahead with its transmission and project in Jammu and Kashmir. So the coming month of April 2013 seems to be a good month because we expect the Indian government to carry on with reforms and liberalization, and also tail risk in Europe have disappeared to some extent. and we also have a steady yet a slow growing US economy. So we expect the markets in April to be volatile, but on the same part, we expect the markets to be slightly on a positive note. Thank you very much.